let me know what to do. Do, 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 do.
You want to wait for the people? You got two people.
Can you go live from Instagram and Facebook at the same time?
I have no idea, my dear.
Okay. I don't know either.
You got 4 people. You ready?
Hi, people.
You got 5.
Hi, people.
People are a little wavy.
Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Steven here again, hanging out during this quarantine session. I hope you guys are doing all right. Make sure you guys are washing your hands, taking care of yourself as well. So what we're going to talk about today is a list I've actually had in my mind for a while. Just 10 essential things that everybody should have in their kitchen. You know, I work at a place where I do a lot of cooking classes. And a lot of people are always asking me, like, what do I always need? What should I always have? Should I have this? What should I buy? I only have this amount of money. You know, what is something that I absolutely need to have in my kitchen? So I kind of came up with these things right here. I came up with 10 essential things that you absolutely need. And then after that, I have 5 honorable mention things that you can kind of waver around with. You don't necessarily need. And there's a little bit more categories as far as it goes along with that with our honorable mentions. But we're going to start with our 10 essential things. These 10 things, except for the first 2, the last 8 are actually in no particular order. But the first 2 things are things you absolutely, positively need. All right. Now I will say this about some ingredients as well. I have some examples of ingredients here, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about the category itself versus what I actually have here. So these are just examples of what we have. These are things that, like I said, are in my kitchen. So yeah, if you guys have any questions throughout, let Laura know. Laura's holding the camera over there. Say hi, Laura.
Hello.
She's holding the camera, so she'll tell me if you guys have any questions. It can be questions about this. It can be questions about food. Whatever you guys want to know about as far as food goes, you know, let me know, and we're going to get this rocking, all right? So, number 1. I have my little cheat sheet right here. Number 1 is, of course, salt, all right? Salt is essential. Why do we use salt? Salt, when we put it on food, yes, it makes things salty, but chemically, between our tongue and our brain, it activates flavors inside of food, all right? That's why we use salt in everything. Even if we're not trying to make something salty, like if we're trying to make a dessert, we'll put a little bit of salt in there. You good? Okay. We'll put a little bit of salt even in desserts sometimes. It just brings out flavors, all right? So what kind of salt did I use, all right? There's so many salts out there. There's sea salt, there's table salt, there's, pink Himalayan salt, all kinds of different salts. The salt that I use, all right, easy salt right here, some good old kosher salt. All right, let me get a little bit of that out. Look at that. Big, beautiful grains of coarse, kosher salt, all right? The reason I personally like it, one, as a chef, when I'm in the kitchen, I'm moving, I'm going boom, boom, boom. I like to pick up my salt. Boom, just like that, it's in my food, ready to go. When you have these beautiful pieces right here, you actually end up using less than your usual table salt, all right? Table salt is not meant for cooking. Table salt is meant for, at the last second, adding a little bit of salt if you're at the table, all right? Because it comes out very, very coarse. Very, very fine, excuse me. This is very, very coarse, of course, as you see right here. Great for going right outside your dishes, right on top. If you want to do like a little plating with some salt, you put some salt on there as well, all right? Super simple, super easy, all right? While we're talking about salt, let's talk about pepper. Whole bunch of different kinds of pepper out there as well. I personally like some just good old cracked black pepper, just like this. You can find little containers like this. I got this at a place called Restaurant Depot, but you can go to Sam's. They have this in Walmart. They have it at any major grocery store, all right? Just take a little bit of this pepper out right here. And look how I have it how it's cut up right there. Again, nice, beautiful grains, all right? nice coarseness on this. All right. The reason we want this coarseness is because I want to, as the consumer, determine the fineness versus having the company decide that for me. All right. Not saying what they do is wrong, but sometimes I want that nice, big, beautiful chunk of pepper right there. All right. If I want something where I want that pepper to be seen, like in a salad dressing or a dessert or something, yeah, you can use pepper in desserts. You can have that nice, beautiful coarseness like this. All right. So, if you're wondering at the house, you know, you're looking at this as like, this is kind of a lot of salt. How do I really use something like this? I know particularly when Laura cooks, whenever I cook, I like to just grab these pieces of salt and boom, there I go. I know when Laura particularly cooks, I think there's something behind me. I'm going to try to reach around and get you. When Laura cooks, let's see, where'd they go? Oh, here. When Laura cooks, she likes to get this little salt grinder right here that I got at one of my stores. And all that salt grinder does, if I just take it back and forth, that's that same kosher salt from before. It's just a lot smaller, all right? A lot more easier to manage if you're not used to those big old grains. Perfectly fine, same salt as before, but definitely an essential for your kitchen, all right? Any questions so far, babe?
No questions.
Okay. Now, like I said, the rest of these ingredients are in no particular order, but they are still essentials for your kitchen, all right? Next item, some good old flour, all right? Flour is a base for cooking, not just savory dishes, but pastry dishes as well. We use flour as a thickening agent, so if I want to make like a soup or a gumbo, if I want to make a roux, you gotta use flour, of course. If I want to make fresh pasta, pasta's super simple recipe, starts with flour, all right? A lot of your baked goods start with flour. Get you a good all-purpose flour. There are thousands of types of flour out there that are very, very, very particular for different uses. As a person that's not necessarily a baking chef myself, so I just kind of need a good go-to flour. Just get a nice, good all-purpose flour, all right? It has a nice protein content in there, so you'll have a nice chew, when you use your flour inside your dishes, but don't get too fancy with it. Just get a nice, I like this brand right here. Get you a nice, good go-to flour, ready to go. No worries about it.
You got a question?
Sure.
Joy wants to know, what do you think is the most underrated spice or season?
Most underrated spice or seasoning, smoked paprika.
He's gonna say that.
Yeah. Smoked paprika. So good question. Smoked paprika. Do we have anything?
Yeah.
Let me see. Smoked paprika is actually one of my absolute favorite ingredients. I started using it not too long ago, but I've had a recent job recently and a new job recently, and my chef there, she absolutely loves it. All right, smoked paprika infuses so much flavor. And you can use it in multiple aspects. You can use it in barbecue rubs. You can use it in desserts even. You can use it. I've used this on chicken. It's great. Definitely underrated.
She said she didn't know what the difference is. So I guess between like regular paprika and smoked.
So paprika is made from peppers. All right. Certain kind of peppers create different kind of paprika. All right. If I just took a regular pepper, coarse it down, dried it up, chopped it up, that'd be my regular paprika. Smoked paprika comes from taking those same peppers, throwing them in the smoker, letting them get a nice dark kind of flavor on top of them, a nice little sweetness that comes out of it from cooking it naturally. Grind that up, and you get paprika right there, all right? Great for barbecue rubs. Pair that with some brown sugar, a little bit of salt, put down your ribs. You can add some different stuff in there, but make that your base, you'll be ready. All right, any more questions, babe?
Nope.
Okay, next step, cornstarch. All right, I know what you're thinking, cornstarch, what in the world can I use this for? This is actually a godsend in the kitchen. All right, there's been so many times where I've been working at places or even at the house where I have like a sauce or a soup and I want it, it's getting thick, but it's not as thick as I want it. All right, I wanted to get a nice consistency on it. This will save the day. Absolutely. I was making a soup one day and I wanted my soup just a little bit thicker, so I take my cornstarch and what you do, you create what we call a slurry. All right, take a little bit of cornstarch, a little bit of cold water, get that nice little stir, and pour that into your sauce pot as it's boiling up. Right, this is go good for your creamy soups, your stocks and broths that you just want to add a little bit of body to. great thing for that right here. In addition to that, if you're frying, say you're frying chicken or fish or something like that, and you're using flour, add a little bit of cornstarch, because that cornstarch will add a little bit of depth to your flour, and it'll also end up creating a much more crispier fry on your meal instead of just plain flour. And it's gluten free. So if you know anybody that has gluten allergies, they can use cornstarch as a thickener as opposed to flour to get a great result.
You did have another question. I missed it.
Okay.
Ty wanted to know, where did you get your jean apron from?
My boy Ty.
Yes.
Ty, what's up, my boy? Man, where did I get this? I got this at a convention, man. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get you one, man. That's my friend right there. That's Ty, my boy. Proud of you, boy. You know why? I ain't gonna say why, but you know why. All right. Next up, what do we have next? Garlic. Look at that. A beautiful clove of garlic right there, all right? Garlic is absolutely essential to kitchens. I don't know any dishes, really. I've done a lot of meals, and I probably think maybe only 95% of them use garlic, and the other 5 of them are just leeway because I don't know for sure. Garlic, not only is it a super flavorful thing, it is super duper healthy. Little people know that garlic is actually a natural antibiotic, all right? So you kind of hear a little bit of my voice. I kind of had a little stuff going on earlier. Take a little bit of garlic, it will clear it right up. I know Laura's mom talked about she had like toothache one day, took a slice of it, put some garlic right there on your teeth. You okay? Mm-hmm. Put a little bit right there on your teeth, and that will take away the pain as well. My great-grandmother, she was known for having a pitcher of garlic water in her fridge that she just drunk and kept her body moving, kept everything working great for you. Definitely get you some garlic, especially at a time like this where a lot of uncertainty is going around. Get you some garlic, incorporate some garlic into your diet every day. You're going to be great. Not only with garlic, it infuses so much flavor into your dish, but the thing about garlic is when you cook it, you got to be careful because garlic is great, but it burns really quickly. All right, that's why you see a lot of recipes, they'll call you to put garlic in the beginning. That's great, but I will hold off putting on my garlic in to the very last second so I ensure that it doesn't burn inside my dish, all right?
Another question.
Yeah.
So can you fry with just cornstarch, like no flour? If you just wanted to fry chicken or something, just cornstarch.
You know, I've heard people do that. I've heard, especially, I don't know how true this is, in certain Asian restaurants, they like to fry in just cornstarch or different kind of flours like that. As far as frying in just cornstarch, I'm not sure about 100% about that because I don't think there's enough protein structure inside that cornstarch to hold up if I were to fry it. I feel like the fry on there would be, the cornstarch would fry faster than your flour. I mean, fry faster than your food. So you'll end up with burnt cornstarch and raw food. So I don't know about all that. I wouldn't try it all the way. It is something to look into if you're going to do maybe like a quick fry on something, not like chicken or anything, maybe like a shrimp or something that you're going to kind of hit real quick. Definitely do that. Or instead of doing that, actually using cornstarch, adding a little bit of a carbonated drink, a little bit of salt. So carbonated drink, club soda, beer, anything with some bubbles in it, stir it together, make a nice tempura. All right, that's how you make tempura. It's batter that has a little bit of bubbles inside of it, so it's gonna be nice and airy and fluffy when you put that in there. So give that a try. Let me know.
Someone would know about like minced garlic if they don't want to keep like raw fresh garlic. Because they're afraid of the regular garlic could go bad.
Which is a very fair thing to say. I will say, if you do go for that, there's two alternatives with that. One, in some kitchens I've worked in, we've gotten like the big old jars of garlic, but they're already peeled. It's still the whole pieces of garlic, and then we just kind of mince up as necessary. I personally like doing that, but I also like doing a lot of knife work. That's just the nature of who I am. But if you do decide to get one of those small jars of garlic, what I would say is get the smaller jar. Don't get the giant jar. Get the smaller jar, so that way you can kind of go through it a little bit faster. And when you use it, make sure you drain off that excess water that's inside there, all right? That water has nothing in it, it has old garlic taste on it, and it's not really going to be great for your dish. Now, if you do decide to use that, that's perfectly fine, but I definitely recommend fresh garlic as opposed to that. Just keep your garlic out on the counter. Don't put it in your fridge because garlic likes to grow in dark, wet places, and your fridge is a perfect spot for that. Just leave it on the counter, let it hang out there. But if you do want to use the jar, jars are perfectly fine. The portion of that is a little bit different. I think you end up actually using a little bit more of that versus raw garlic, but it's kind of your preference as well. All right. Any more? Next. All right. Y'all having a good time today? Let Laura know if you having a good time, and let me know if you enjoying these videos. I like doing this. I don't know if y'all know this, but my regular job is teaching, and of course, right now, not doing a lot of that. So I love doing this. If you guys have any questions, you can always hit me up. Somebody hit me up today about a recipe, about something. Hit me up. I love talking about food. I love teaching people about food, so let me know. All right. Now, this next ingredient, I'm going to contradict myself. Just follow me, but just hear me out, all right? Next ingredient is butter, all right? I know what it looks like here. I have margarine, all right? Usually, I am not a fan of margarine. I don't like using margarine, but due to the circumstances right now, that's all they have at the store, all right? Margarine does have its places, but it does not have the same place as butter, or biscuit dough, or a pie dough, or something. I use butter in there, crumple it up together, and it brings my flour and everything together as well, right? In addition to that, if I'm sauteing, I like to use a little bit of butter in conjunction with my other ingredient right here. And not only that, butter can be used as a flavoring agent if I take that same butter and I brown it, all right? Look that up. If you want to know how to make some fire, like mashed potatoes or fire sugar cookies, learn how to make brown butter. It will change the entire game, I promise you, all right? With that in mind, however, when we use butter, we use unsalted butter. I do not ever buy salted butter unless it's just going to sit on the table. And even then, usually when somebody buys salted butter in my circle, it's on mistake. All right. I don't use salted butter simply because I don't know how much salt is in there. All right. As somebody that likes to boom, 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 when you're cooking, a lot of times you kind of just throw your salt in. Of course, you're tasting as you go along, but that salted butter, the salt in there throws off your flavors just a little bit too much, all right? Remember what we said earlier about salt. When we add salt in, it brings flavors out, all right? When you're using that salted butter when you're using that butter that's already salted, the flavor's kind of stuck in that butter. You can't really reach out to my other ingredients to pull out those flavors, so you're kind of just sitting there, all right? In addition to that, butter is used to finish sauces. So if you want to make like a beautiful pan sauce, so say you cook some chicken, you add some herbs, some wine, let that cook down, you add in your cold butter, give it a nice swirl, you have a beautiful sauce to finish up, and it looks great. All right. Next up, we have some olive oil, all right? There's a lot of different types of olive oil out there. There's extra virgin, super virgin, fresh out the whatever. Get some good olive oil, all right? You kind of shop around to figure out what you like. This one, I think we just got this at Aldi. We just got this at Aldi. It's a great thing to just kind of keep in the house because not only that, well, let's talk about with our butter, all right? With our butter earlier, everybody knows at the house, if I took a super hot pan, put my butter in there, it's gonna burn, all right? Because butter has a really low smoke point, all right? A smoke point is the point with your fat where the fat starts to break down. Everybody's been to a fast food restaurant and it smells like grease, right? That's when your grease is hitting the smoke point. That's when the restaurant needs to change their grease. All right, same thing happens with butter. It's reaching that smoke point and it's smoking, all right? When I add in my olive oil to my butter, using the both in conjunction, it raises the smoke point up of my butter so that way I get the butter taste without the butter burn, all right? Like I said, olive oil, super great for just regular things. Great on a salad if you just want to do a nice little drizzle on your salad to finish it up. Actually super great for making a very simple dressing, a vinaigrette, all right? Making an emulsion, all right? Great for making lots of dressings, all right? Definitely keep this in the house. If you're having a dinner party, you just want to impress some friends real quick, or have a date, you just want to impress your date real quick, keep some olive oil in the house. You can make up a nice, beautiful sauce at the end, and it will blow their mind. They'll never have another salad dressing like that, all right?
Stanley Bearfield said hello.
Stan the man.
You're being asked to do a brown butter tutorial. Because
brown butter tutorial. I will do that another day because I do not have butter, and margarine does not brown the way that butter will because margarine is essentially vegetable oil that's solid. When you chill it, it doesn't act the same way as butter. The reason that brown butter works is because when you have your butter, you have those milk solids inside there, and what brown butter is you're kind of toasting those up, all right? When you make it, it gets super nutty, super flavorful, and that's how you get brown butter. But I'll do that another day. Stan the man, what's up, Stan? Hope all is well, man. Got another one, baby? Okay. Next up, absolutely, I know I said these are not in this particular order, but this one is. This one gets a gold star. A lemon, all right? So many times I've been creating dishes and it just needs a little pop, all right? It needs something to brighten it up a little bit, all right? Grab a lemon. And if you guys remember from my my Alfredo sauce tutorial, I had a lemon right there and it brightened up my dish so much because lemon has acid in it, all right? When you put acid inside of a dish, it brightens it up and it gives you the kind of same receptors as a salt, so you don't overuse your salt, all right? If you know somebody that's on a low sodium diet, get them a bunch of lemons, all right? Lemons are super healthy as well. If you have something going on with your chest or something, get some lemons. Use the juice, not only the juice, but get the zest, all right? Let me see if I got my zester right here. Yeah. I love this stuff right here. This is like my favorite kitchen tool because a lot of people just take this lemon and just throw it away. They just get that zest off. They only use that zest, they just boom, lose it. When you get that zest, you just take it back and forth right there. You see all that? All that beautifulness. As long as you don't get past that white part right there, all that beautiful, even just that little bit, it smells good, don't it? Mm-hmm. It's nice and fragrant, all right? You use that lemon, finish up your sauces, great for vinaigrette. So look how this is kind of developing. We got our olive oil, we got our salt, we got our pepper, we got our lemon, and next step is our honey, all right? Honey, by the way, fun fact if you did not know, honey does not expire, all right? Because it's a natural ingredient, it's a natural product, it comes straight from the bees. That's why we gotta save the bees. Honey is a super great ingredient because not only does it sweeten things naturally, you're not putting all that white sugar in there. It's great for dressings, as I mentioned before. You can use this for health reasons as well, very holistic reasons as well. Good for your chest, good for people like myself with asthma, really great for that. When allergy season picks up a little bit more, get some local honey. There's somebody in your area that makes local honey. You might have to go to the farmer's market, somebody makes it, all right? I had somebody tell me years ago, if you have bad allergies, get some local honey because the same things that you're allergic to are in that honey. So when you have it inside your body, it kind of builds up an immunity to it so you don't get sick, all right? Last of the essentials is our vinegar, all right? I know what you're saying. Why should I keep vinegar in the house? All right, Vinegar brightens up dishes. It's great for your salad dressing. So right here, boom, 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 boom. These 4 ingredients will make a super simple salad dressing, all right? Not only that, there are so many different types of vinegar, all right? We just kind of keep apple cider vinegar because it's a good kind of go-to vinegar, all right? If I want to make a dressing with it, it's a good kind of sweeter vinegar to it. If I want to do something with like a rice vinegar, which is even sweeter but a more neutral taste, I like using rice vinegar. You can use white vinegar. I don't really see a lot of purposes of keeping just regular white vinegar. I don't have a lot of uses for it in my kitchen. I'm not saying there aren't any, but I just don't have a lot for them. But this apple cider works really well. Rice vinegar works really good. Just keep some in the house because you never really know what you can use vinegar for. All right? All right. Any more questions from the people out there, babe?
You make brown butter sound very good. Make a salted caramel with brown butter. Now they need a salad dressing tutorial. And you're preaching the gospel about honey.
Who said that?
Nikki. Latasha.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm telling you, somebody told me about that honey. Told me about that a couple of years ago, and really, I promise you, you got somebody that had really bad allergies, give them that local honey, you'll be surprised. All right.
Tima says she's going good. She has everything but the fresh garlic and a lemon.
Who said that?
And what do you use to clean your fruits and veggies?
Very good question. So with that, my fruits and veggies, I really kind of just, I'm going to be really honest with y'all. I just kind of give them a nice, good little rinse, make sure there's no visible dirt on them. Because a lot of the stuff that people are kind of worried about, a lot of it doesn't come off unless you hit certain temperatures or you use certain chemicals, all right? Like I said, I kind of keep mine really simple. I get off visible dirt. I get off any weirdness to it. If it doesn't look good, I don't use it. So keep it really simple like that because a lot of those germs and bacteria come off.
to clean like greens, like kale greens, collard greens, especially if they just came from the farm and you see like visible sand or dirt on them. So using like salt and warm water or a little vinegar or lemon, any of the citrus that he has here helps clean greens.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Cleaning pipes with distilled vinegar and baking soda helps with flush with hot water if you want to clean your pipes.
That works as well. See, I mean, there's a lot of uses for vinegar and stuff.
All right. So those your top 10?
That was the top 10. This portion was sponsored by JoJo Juice. I don't know where JoJo is. I don't think she's in there right now. But JoJo Juice. If you saw me at Honda, I had this. JoJo does a really great job. Makes some really awesome things. Hit her out. Is her name like JoJo? Is her JoJo Dancer on Facebook or something? I'll put it in the comments. I don't know if she's watching, but I'm gonna tag her in the comments. Also, what's behind you right there? One of the good brothers reached out to me with the all seasoning right here. Check that out right here. All seasoning. So in here, he has a whole bunch of different spices and seasonings. I'm not gonna tell you what. I kind of tasted it, but I ain't gonna tell you what his secrets are. But look at that. Beautiful all seasoning. This one in particular is jerk seasoning. We put this on some chicken wings the other day, put them in the oven, let them cook up, and I mean, absolutely outstanding flavor. What'd you do, baby?
I did the jerk one. That was really good.
It was really good, really good. And then you put the spicy garlic one
on some squash.
On some squash. Get some beautiful summer squash. Just put that in the oven. Absolutely great. The cool thing about his spices, I will say, his spices and seasonings, a lot of people when they make these, they just throw a bunch of salt in there. Just salt, 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 salt. These is a very natural tasting, all right? I get a little bit of salt, but not like an overbearing amount of salt. He's using salt to actually bring out the flavors as opposed to making them be the flavor, all right, that you get from a lot of those seasonings. So check out the bird right here. I think he has a sale going on right now. You use what's it, the code, like Corona 19 or something like that. Check him out. I'll tag him down below as well.
He's in there. He said thank you.
Oh, there you go. Hey, what's up, bro? Check him out. Absolutely great spices. He was so kind to send me this one, his original spice, and his spicy garlic. That spicy garlic, man, I got something special in mind for that one. So this jerk one, I was actually like really excited. I was thinking about this one all day, and Laura made some beautiful wings with these, and yeah, man, definitely check this out.
All right, so they just want to get a quick rundown of the 10, and if you want to do your 5.
All right.
So quick rundown of what your top 10 was.
Quick rundown of the top 10. Kosher salt.
Mm-hmm.
The black pepper.
Mm-hmm.
All-purpose flour.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of cornstarch.
Mm-hmm.
Garlic. Butter. This is margarine, but butter. Unsalted butter. Olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
Lemon.
Mm-hmm.
Honey. And vinegar. It could be white, rice, apple cider, balsamic. That's a really good one. Get some balsamic. Keep that in the house. I got something special with some balsamic vinegar coming down. All right. Next up, these next 5 are not necessarily essential ingredients, but they're things I just kind of keep around the house because I like them and they're really helpful for what I do every day. All right, number 1, rice. As you see, we just got a big old bag of rice. All right, great side dish if you know somebody in college. If you are somebody in college, if you're kind of looking for a quick, easy side or starch, rice. And notice this rice is not in the boiler bag. Get the big old rice. This was like what?
25 pounds.
This is 25. How much was this? Like maybe
20 some bucks.
I mean, you can't beat this. This is 25 pounds of rice for 20 bucks. Get some rice, all right? How to make rice. I'm gonna make this really quick and simple for you guys, all right? So when you get your rice, get you a nice measuring cup, anything really. So I'm gonna use my Power Ranger cup. Yeah, a cup, all right? And you want to do a ratio, all right? A lot of people say 1 to 1, 1 to 25, 1 to 1.25, 1.5, whatever. I'm going to tell you get 1 part rice and 1 part liquid. So that could be stock, water. Those are the main 2, but stock and water. 1 part to 1 part, all right? Take your rice, rinse it off till it runs clear. Put it into a saucepan. Add your liquid. Add a little bit of salt in there if you like. Nice lid on top. Medium heat. Let it cook up. Let the steam do the work. All right. Rice takes a little bit of time. It's not instant. All right. It takes a little bit of time to make. Let the steam do the work. Once your rice is cooked up, you'll know when it's done, when it looks all nice and beautiful. Open up the lid, fluff it up a little bit, and just let it sit for about 2 or 3 minutes. Let it cool off. Perfect rice every single time. All right. Now, speaking of stock and broth, all right. So when I cut up my vegetables or just have some leftover bones or something, I like to throw them in the stock pot. I like to freeze them, pull them out, throw them in the stock pot or my instant pot over here, and make homemade stock. That's my next thing. Stock and broth, all right. For people keeping tabs at home, the difference between stock and broth is stock is made from bones, all right? Typically chicken bones, you have beef bones that are roasted, you can use those as well, but broth is just meat, all right? Very small difference, there's a taste difference, but it's not that huge, all right? But that's just technically what it is, all right? You can make your stocks, great for soups, of course, great for making rice. And most times in recipes, if a recipe calls for water, especially in the savory aspect, if you substitute it for stock, you'll end up with a much more tasty product. All right. Next up, any questions, babe?
About 10 to 15 minutes for rice. Yeah.
I'll say about that. Yeah. Next up, fresh herbs. All right. This particular herb right here, I got a little bit of cilantro right here. Just a little bit of cilantro. We had tacos the other night, so we just did that. I got a little bit of rosemary. If you need only 3 herbs, if you were going to the store and like, what herbs do I absolutely need? Get some rosemary, get some thyme, and get some bay leaf. All right, bay leaf is actually going to be dried. Bay leaf is good for your stocks, good for your soups. Yeah, we got some back in there.
No.
Oh, yeah. Stocks and all that good stuff. Keep those in the house, all right? Your rosemary, thyme, and bay leaf. Now, if you have dried herbs, they are okay. Fresh herbs are better, but if you have dried herbs, it's okay. The only thing about dried herbs is you use twice the amount of fresh. So if you have fresh that calls for 1 tablespoon, dried would be 2 tablespoons. All right. Next up, onion. Onion is really essential when it comes to cooking. We use it all the time in restaurant kitchens, and there's different types of onions as well. So real quick, why we use different kinds of onions. Red onions, if I'm doing something raw, like a salad, all right? White onion is a good go-to, just all-purpose onion, especially if I'm sauteing or doing something quick, all right? Yellow onions is typically like roasting, caramelizing, just because there's a lot of sugars inside that onion that come out from longer amount of cooking. Green onions, you can also use, typically use them raw. Sometimes you can grill them. They're great for garnishes, but have some onions in the house. What particular ones you keep in the house is up to you. I think we have like 3 types right now because that's the kind of person I am, but you don't have to do all that. Just get you some good white onions, you'll be okay. Last but not least, final ingredient that you absolutely need to have in your house are eggs. All right? You need some eggs in your house. I actually do not really eat eggs like that, but I use them a lot in different dishes as far as making breads, as far as making pastas, as far as binders. In culinary school, we spend a whole day learning how to make eggs because they are super affordable and you make really great dishes with that. Lots of different stuff. You can make mayonnaise with it, meringues with it. Eggs, definitely keep in the house. They are definitely a godsend. They definitely save the day a lot of different times. So, if you guys have any questions, throw them out real quick.
Someone want to add a risotto tutorial to the wish list. We just had risotto the other night too.
We did have risotto the other night. We've been thinking about y'all. Like when we make stuff like what we made yesterday. We made some pico de gallo, which is like ridiculously easy. Risotto's on the wish list. I have a dish that I got coming up for y'all for a really good date night. I'm thinking I was going to do one side with it, but I might do risotto in there if y'all want to really impress somebody. But I might keep that for a special day. I don't know. We'll see about that.
Okay. That's about it.
That's about it. So if you guys enjoyed this, share this with your friends. Tell people about it. Hit me up. I like answering questions about food. If you have anything else, you can throw that out. Even after the video, I'll be here because we ain't doing anything else. So,
Deidre said you'd be proud of her. She has about 80% of this in here.
Good job, Deidre. Good job. So don't forget, these definitely keep in your house at all times. The other things you can kind of you know, try to keep them as well, but you don't necessarily need them. If you ask me for recipes, I'll probably make sure that you have this. This list actually came from, I was doing some private chef work, and I was just thinking, like, what do I always want in those kitchens when I go to their kitchens? And this is kind of where it led me. So this is a little bit of a process to coming up with this. So if that's all, you guys stay safe out there, wash your hands, look out for one another, call somebody, and we'll see y'all next time.
All right, bye.
Bye.